Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you all how I achieved this soft glam on my clients. And if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Lizzie. You're welcome to this channel. So the first thing I did was to carve her brows to put it in proper shape. So all I did was to carve out the excess hairs that I didn't need for this particular glam look. Next up, I went ahead to use micellar water and face wipes to wipe off the heat and dirt from her face. Next up, I went ahead to apply moisturizer and face primer on her face using these flawless IV brushes, and I just applied that and concentrated more on her T-zone area, which are the forehead, the jaw, underneath the eyes, the nose as well. Next up, I went ahead to apply this hydrating serum from Zaron Cosmetics, and I mostly applied that on her T-zone area and then just blended out the whole thing properly and allowed it to sink into her skin. And then I went in with my Seal It fixing spray. I wanted the makeup to last longer, so I decided to try this particular method. And once that was done, I took my beauty blender while it was wet and I just tapped all of that into her skin properly and made sure that everything was good. Next up, I went in with foundation, and I went in with the foundation that is in her shade, and this foundation is from Zikel Cosmetics. So I just tapped the whole product into her skin. Make sure that you are doing like a full coverage because you want to cover up all the pores and all the dark spots on her face. But while you do a full coverage, make sure the products are not too heavy on her face. Next up, I went in with this flawless IV camouflage concealer, and I applied this on her T-zone areas, in these areas that you can see me applying them, just to highlight the face properly and to enable these areas to pop. So I went in with a shade of concealer that is about 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone because I wanted the whole thing to pop. So while you are applying these products, make sure that you are tapping on the face and you are not dragging. If you're dragging, it's going to create harsh lines here and there, and my dear, you really do not want that. So make sure that you tap the products into the face, and make sure that if you're using a beauty sponge, that it is wet. Let it be wet. Just dip it into water or spray your setting spray on it and you're good to go. So I went ahead to contour the nose using the shade of foundation that I used all over her face. Next up, I wanted to give it like a very warm undertone, so I went in with this Nuban foundation in the shade W07, and then I just tapped all of that into the face properly, and I actually did like what I saw. So blend until the whole thing is properly seated and until it matches with the neck as well. So basically, this is just me contouring the necessary areas that I need to contour, and then just basically making sure that everything sits properly. And then I went in with a pink blush because I felt like it was going to come out really cool and nice, and she's dark skinned, so I felt like pink was going to pop, you know. So I went in with a pink blush, and then I applied that a little bit on her nose and then towards the forehead and blended all of that properly. Next up, I went in with this powder palette from V Beauty Cosmetics, and in the places where I contoured, I went in with a dark shade of powder, and in the places where I highlighted, I went in with a brighter shade of powder. So the initial stage of you applying the foundation and the concealer is just like you're creating a skeleton for the face. You're creating like a rough sketch. If you're an artist, you should know, but in the roughness, your work also needs to be neat, just so that when you are applying your powder, you will have a very flawless finishing. I just hope that you guys understand that. So I went in with a powdered blush as well. I just tapped the whole pink shade into the same areas that I initially applied the liquid shade of blush, and just blended all of that properly. And I really was loving the effect of the whole makeup. So next up, I went in with setting powder, and this setting powder that I am using is from Adventure Cosmetics. It's a very lovely one. Their products are really nice. It doesn't create harsh lines underneath the eyes, and I would definitely refer this to anybody any day, anytime. So I just tapped those products into her face like this in the areas that you can see me apply them, the T-zone areas, and I was precise in what I was doing just so that I could have a very clean work and clean finishing. So, and I did a reverse contour underneath the cheekbone. You can see that I chiseled the cheekbone and it's a little bit more pronounced than it was before. And then I went in with blush again, my CPD blush palette, and that was basically what we had. So I needed to do the lip makeup before every other thing. So I went ahead to outline her lip with a brown shade of lippy, and I went ahead to apply a nude shade of lippy and white from my Cheek Cosmetics, and I asked her to smudge all of that in while I shaded the outer corner of her lips as well. And then I went in with gloss because I love gloss a lot. I was really loving this particular lip combination, but she said she wanted orange and she wanted like a different look, and I applied a little bit of orange and she said she did prefer it this way. So I went ahead to do her eye makeup. I didn't go in with primer. I just went in with my eyeshadow from Jordan Hill Cosmetics. I went in with this shade, and then I applied a little bit of glitters on her eyes. I know that from this video it's not too pronounced, but you can still see it. And then I went in with a gold shade of pigment just so that the eyes can pop a little bit. And then because I wanted the whole eye makeup to be a little bit more pronounced, I went in with a brown shade of eyeshadow, and then I just outlined that area properly and blended it, and everything was coming together. So basically I repeated the same process on the other side of her eyes, and at this point I went ahead to dust off the excess eyeshadow that must have fallen on her face and to clean up the whole face properly. And this was what I had. And I also went ahead to apply a black shade of eyeliner from Karite Cosmetics. I think this eyeliner is one of the most affordable products, makeup products in the market right now that actually works well. It works well and it's actually multi-purpose. I will definitely recommend this product any day, anytime. It's from Karite Cosmetics. I've never regretted using any of their products, especially when you get the original. Yep. So I went ahead with mascara at her lower and upper lashes just so that I can wipe off the excess eyeshadow that must have fallen on her lashes. And once that was done, I went ahead to apply eyelash glue at the top of her eyelid and then applied my falsies. Just went in with lashes. She said she really wanted them to be full and long, and we delivered. So I, at this point, decided to do her brows, and the first thing I did was to apply like an edge control on the brow to give it a more defined look. Next up, I applied powder on the brows to set it properly and so that it will be easier for me to draw, and just so that when I draw, the brows will be more pronounced and sharp. So I drew a thin line underneath the brow and another thin line at the top of the brow, and then just filled the place where she does not really have enough hairs up, and that was it basically. So once I was done with all of that, I went ahead to conceal the brow just to highlight it properly and so that the whole brows can pop and really look nice. So at this point, you want to make sure that the brow that you draw on one side, be like, you want to make sure that it's equal or it looks similar with the brow that you've drawn on the other side as well. It may not be like exactly the same, but let them look like sisters. So I blended out the concealer properly because I wanted a very clean work. I blended out the concealer properly. Next up, I went ahead to apply pigment on these areas that you can see me applying them. Make sure that it is not too much and it is just enough for the purpose that you're trying to use it for. And I just applied the pigment on these areas, and I really loved the outcome. So once that was done, I just made sure that the whole makeup was looking good, and then I went ahead with my spray again, my Seal spray, and then I just applied that on the face just to keep the whole makeup intact, and just so that when she sweats the makeup does not break. And this is it, guys. I really did like the outcome of this makeup. I was really scared of this lip combo, but man, it was giving. At this point, it was really giving. The good thing was that I liked the outcome of the makeup, and my client loved the outcome of the makeup as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope that it was helpful. I do hope that this was really detailed and beginner friendly. If it was, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. I remain your girl Lizzie, and do not also forget to turn on your notification button so that each time I post you get a notification and you will be the first to know. I'm going to link some of my previous videos to this one because I have lots of amazing stuffs and amazing videos that I feel like are going to be beneficial to you and that you're going to learn from. Thank you guys so much. I remain your girl Lizzie. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.